Hello, my little Luxes. Welcome to another episode of Charsie Chats. Now, once again, the idea of Charsie Chats is that, yes, I am indeed in cosplay right now. So you would think I would be doing a coffee and cosplay episode. But the whole idea of Charsie Chats is the thought process of me needing to do less and less edits and for videos and things that I just want to communicate about something, talk about something important, or just to have a good old vent or rant session about something that has happened out in the world. And obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, because you might not know who this character is. I just got done recording my episode for my movie review of The Funhouse Massacre. And I am dressed in cosplay for that movie for the character, the Stitch Face Killer, or Dollface. So I am an inspired character by her. So obviously, I could have went and done a coffee and cosplay episode again, even though I just did one for the Funhouse. The Funhouse for Funhouse of Horrors. See, this is my brain. It just do. I have like 10 to 20 different things going on in my brain at all times. So, and my brain goes way faster than my mouth does, and I do not pronounce words well at all. So half the time you'll see me like slur things because I'm trying to talk at a rate where I can pronounce things, but my brain is just always going. I mean, it makes for fun times to make fun of me, but anyway, I've learned to accept that that's just how I talk and how I do things. But I don't. The thing with coffee and cosplay is also the idea that it is stuff that is a part of the theme. Whereas anything that I can do for Charsie Chats doesn't necessarily have to be in the same theme. But it's just the idea of bringing up anything that's important. And something that I wanted to talk about was the fact that, as I've said and mentioned in other times, that one of my favorite things that I love doing is that I love watching drama commentary channels on YouTube. And it's something that's just relaxing for me, it's monotonous, but a lot of these drama commentary channels actually bring up some really important issues that are going on in the world at all times. And like for perfect example, like the Jonah Hill situation that's going on with his ex-girlfriend basically outing him for being a controlling a-hole. So or I guess I should just say asshole. And the Lizzo situation with her ex dancers, that they're coming out with a lawsuit against her. And even more importantly, with Colleen Ballinger, who's more famously known for her Miranda Sings character, that these channels are coming out and outing her for her horrible behavior, and that she's a child groomer, and she's used children in the past to attack other people, and she's doing that again. And if you don't know about this, it should see that this is why I want to bring this up, especially if certain parents who don't know who Colleen Ballinger is, but if you have kids who watch that horrible show, in my opinion, called Miranda Sings, in real life, Colleen Ballinger was in group chats or even in private one-on-one DM chats with minors, and she was talking about sexual contents with them and sexual things, asking them sexual questions and things like that. And she has sent inappropriate pictures and other things like that. So these are important things that people should know, so that you can at least, especially be forewarned as a parent, that if your kid is into that Miranda Sings for whatever reason, because I personally think it's stupid. But I mean, yeah, that's the mindset of a child there. That protect your child. I would keep them as far away from this Colleen Ballinger as possible. And that it's a very dangerous situation, and I would definitely highly suggest going on YouTube, typing in her name, and SWOOP would be a good one. I'll actually link her stuff down below in my description. That I would highly check out her documentaries, especially for these types of situations. But the one that I wanted to bring up is one of my favorite commentary channels, or drama commentary channels, or he also likes to joke. He's a candle review company, and his name is Peter Monn. I've mentioned Peter Monn before when he unfortunately had a terrible, terrible car accident. And there was a huge scare that we didn't know what was going to happen to him. But he is just one of my favorites, and he's real. He's relatable in so many situations, and he's just so open about his life and everything he does. But the situation that I want to bring up and to talk about is the idea of stalkers, online stalkers especially, and just how scary putting ourselves out there online for everybody. Because I had somebody ask me the other day that there are several things I'm going to bring up, that things that have happened throughout time where people would see that I was from Illinois. So then they would start asking me where I live in Illinois. And then I've had other people come into my DM wanting to know, where do you work? I want to come visit you. If I don't know you on a personal level, please do not ask me where I live. Do not ask me where I work. Like, in fact, even after that, like, you have no privy to that information. And why I don't talk about it is because I've always heard of the horror stories that have happened to people. Like, I have heard of several cosplayers that I know that had to deal with stalkers. I have heard of other online people that just are on YouTube that get stalkers because they're very open about where they are, and people will find ways to track them. And there are even times where people can be an Airbnb and people will look at their pictures and go to Airbnb and track where these people are staying. And that is an invasion of privacy, and that is not okay. But I'm bringing up Peter Monn due to the fact that I have always, always admired him. And he's always talked about his life openly. He's talked about where he lives, talks about the areas that he goes and he does shopping and everything. And he has very in-depth vlogs where he's open about his life. And I've always thought, I'm like, God, I admire that. The fact that he can just openly say where he lives, what city he lives in. And that I kept thinking in my head, I'm like, he's so lucky that he can be open about this and that he doesn't have to deal with these problems and these issues. Is one of the first things I had discussed with my husband when we started doing everything for Charsie Luxxx and all that, was that we didn't want to be open about the area we are in due to the fact stalkers and things that we know from the past and that kind of stuff. Well, Peter, as of recently, has just come out and he's actually stated that he's had awful, awful stalkers. Terrible, scary situations where I feel for him so much. And it's like, it's the realization of why I haven't been open 100% about what city I live in, where's the exact location of where I'm at. And he shared very, very scary information. And the fact that he's been dealing with this for like 3-4 years, where he's had a stalker that literally will call his hospital, call his veterinary clinic, call the areas where he used to work, call where his husband works, call his friends that have been on his YouTube channel with him and have shared things about themselves. They'll look up where these people work and call their places of employment, just asking questions, asking for personal information. And this kind of shit is not okay. They would literally call his medical doctors asking for his medical information. That is an invasion of privacy that is illegal on so many levels. And so I've had people ask me, like, why I don't openly share where I'm at. And when people ask me, like, where do you live? And I don't know who you are, and I block you, and then they get offended about it, I'm not going to share that information with you. And you asking me when you don't know who I am, I'm going to block you. And I just not too long ago had somebody in my DMs when I was talking about, and I was doing my countdown to my final days at my terrible bank job. And I seriously had somebody come into my DM, ask me where I worked because they wanted to come and visit me. What world do you live in? I don't even know who this person is. I didn't even follow this person. And they're asking me where I work. And not only that, but asking so that they could come find me. That's unacceptable. So then finding out that this thing that I admire Peter so much for and how open and honest he is about where he's at. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, God, he's so lucky that he doesn't have to deal with this fear of stalkers. And little did I know is that for the past 4 years, he's been dealing with like the worst kind of stalkers. So please have an understanding of me. I mean, I shouldn't even state it like this. Have respect to not have this invasion of, if somebody's not telling you where their location is, especially if they're an online presence, there is a strong reason for that. And since I love my drama commentary on that, and it's usually about YouTubers and what they do, it's a learning process for me as well, and safety precautions to take. And I am asked so many times, like, I finally even changed on my Twitter. It doesn't say Illinois anymore. It only says USA, because I just recently had somebody else come into my DMs. Somebody I had just recently followed back, which that's another thing. If somebody follows you, don't go into their DM right away. That's just weird behavior in the first place. It's different if it's going to be like work related questions and that. But this guy had just recently followed him back, seemed like a cool dude or whatever, had a lot of similar tastes and horror movies and that kind of stuff. And he asked me, he's like, "Oh, I'm also from Illinois. Where are you from in Illinois?" And it's like, don't ask me that information. I don't know who you are. And it's like, it just, it's weird. One, you're jumping in my DMs right away, and then the next thing that you're asking me is my location in Illinois. Like, no. And obviously me just sharing that much information is enough for some people. Like, some people are creepy crazy in how they can search for people. It's a scary world we live in. So, like I said, it's just this weird thing where the realization when Peter came out and he started talking about the situation, and it's like I'm watching this, and as he's talking about it, and he's so emotional, so hurt, and you can tell fear as well. And it's like the whole time I'm crying with him, and I feel for him, because it's like he's talking about my worst fear and why I don't share that openly, my location and everything. And that I'm even to the point that if I ever go on vacation, you're not going to know until after I'm back from vacation. Obviously, my closest friends and those that I trust will know where I'm at. But I won't share pictures of me on vacation until after I'm back. Because especially when I went to Fox Lake to visit Blarney Island, I did not say the weekend that I was there, because it's so easy for me to say, I'm here, this is my location right now, and then all of a sudden somebody would show up, and it's like, I mean, I understand meet and greets. If somebody is planning on doing this, then yes. But if I'm on vacation and all of a sudden somebody shows up like, "Oh, I saw that you were here and I wanted to come meet you." Now, that that can get scary. And obviously want to have the understanding that people that I've been talking to for years online and that it'd be awesome to meet people, and especially the ones that I've made friends with and everything. But it's different if somebody feels like they're tracking you, they're following you. There's a huge difference between someone that is in good nature about it and just wants to meet you, and somebody who is a creepy, crazy stalker. And what was happening to Peter was that worst case scenario, the thing that I fear, where somebody was invasive of his life and they know all this information about him. And so I wanted to share that for so many reasons, because the fact that people are still in my DMs asking me where I'm at, that's not okay. You're going to get blocked. And also the fact that, one, go follow Peter. Peter is an awesome guy. He's got 6 different channels. So even if you're not into the drama commentary type of thing or anything like that, he's got a vlog channel. He's got a I can't say it, Peterisms channel where he talks about his sobriety, and he's just an inspiration to listen to. And he's got a review channel. So I mean, he's just an awesome guy and I admire him. And he's a huge, huge inspiration to why I started my YouTube channel, because he had said one day, and it sat with me and resonated with me, was when he had said, he's like, the joys of YouTube, the fact that anybody can just start a camera, start a recording, and you could just start a channel. Anybody can do it. All you need is just a camera and an idea, and you can do whatever you want, and YouTube gives that opportunity. So it was a huge inspiration to me to start my channel and everything. So definitely, one, for the big thing, definitely check out Peter and follow him. Support him, help support him, because the scary situation that he's been going through, which when he finally did come out and he talked about this, several people who are his friends online, who are good at tracking people, tracked down who these stalkers were and found the real people. So I mean, that's scary in itself too. So the fact that they were able to locate this person, so Peter now finally can legally go after this person who's been a stalker for 4 years now, maybe even 5, but he can finally go after them and pursue a much needed lawsuit to protect himself and his family. But also the fact that I wanted to bring this up because this is an ongoing thing, and that we should be way more respectful to people, that just because we share our lives online and everything, like, obviously comments are always open for people to talk and to have a conversation. DMs, I really, really, really have DMs for the people that I have known online for quite a bit of time, and that I know who they are, and that I really just want my DMs for that. And yes, obviously DMs are also good for if it's going to be like work related, if it's a question about the channel, a question about cosplays, or like just something general that doesn't seem creepy, like asking where somebody works, asking what town I live in, asking these in-depth things, or like the weird fucking guy that thought it was appropriate to make a sexual comment to me. Ugh. there's there's a difference between complimenting someone and just flat out saying that I am going to sleep with you and that I want to jump you and that I'll take advantage of you. Like, ugh. Like, no. No. What the fuck? So I felt it was really important to talk about this kind of stuff because there's always the possibility that something very scary can happen and that I've already had it happen to me a few times online, but luckily because I don't disclose where I live online, that I haven't had to deal with it to that degree. But yeah, it's a scary world out there right now, and with everything that goes on with hackers and scammers, and obviously I've seen my videos already copied and taken and put on different sites on that it keeps opening my eyes to the possibility of something scary like this happening. So I just want to bring it forward to say, please be respectful. And obviously, the people that I'm talking to, the ones that are listening to me on here, you guys are gonna be that way. You guys are my family. You guys are my friends, the ones that are respectful and that I'm most likely talking to in my DMs anyways as a friend. That it's yes, there's the possibility that somebody creepy could be watching this, stalking, and I want to be lighthearted about it, but I have had a stalker in the past, and that was some of the scariest shit I've ever had to go through, and I never want to have to deal with that ever again. And obviously, I know putting myself out there online, it makes it very, very probable that it could happen. But wanted it to be a conversation for all of us to talk about, and I hope to God that this isn't a situation that any of you have ever had to deal with. And it's sad that we deal with it. And in the long run, there comes a point where what can you do when you do have one or not? And just finding out what you can do on the side with the law. And I have a friend that's dealing with being stalked by an ex who lives in a different country. And it's like she pretty much has to put up with it because he's in a different country. It's just that there has to be options that we can have to protect ourselves and to protect our privacies. Because yes, obviously, me being online, that I do share a lot of things about my life. I am vulnerable about a lot of things, and I talk about deep details about myself, but also a respectful level from people that are being too invasive. So, but yeah, this was quite the episode to talk about anything and everything. And once again, please go follow Peter Monn. Please go follow SWOOP. Like I said, I will have their stuff linked down below, and definitely check out that stuff about Colleen Ballinger, because this is something that should still be brought up and talked about, because something like that is super dangerous. In the words of SWOOP, it's not drama, it's dangerous. So, thank you for joining me here on another Charsie Chats. I hope you are all having a fabulous day, even though I was talking about very dark, deep, very scary situations. I want to be lighthearted with all of you and wish you all an amazing day, and I hope you have a great weekend and everything. But yeah, if you would like to follow me on my other social medias, you can follow me on my Twitter for Charsie Luxxx with 3 X's, or on my Instagram or Threads for Charsie87, or please follow me on my Blue Sky for Charsie Luxxx with 3 X's. And I'm trying to stay lighthearted. I'm like, God, that it can be a mood killer. It really can. But I love and appreciate all of you, and thank you so much for joining me. And please remember to slay, subscribe, like, and always be yourself. Until next time, my little X's, I hope you have a great day and have a Luxy Charms kind of day. Bye.